All right. Thank God it's Friday. I want to welcome our viewers to Dissect Podcast. My name is Amobi Okafo. And sitting on my right here is my co-host, Kinsley Ezenwenyi. And today we have a special guest in the house. Some other. Before I go on, let me introduce Somodo. Somebody, look, you have a lot of stuff behind you. So I have to write this down to make sure I didn't forget anything, yes. Right? Somodo Nokpa, Emperor of Business Empire. Dr. Jim Okeke is the Associate Professor of Managerial Epidemiology. He is the founder, CEO of Fidelity Community Support Group, Inc. He is also founder and CEO of SJDC Enterprises, Inc. in Durham, North Carolina. But guess what? Today I will add to your long achievements. You are an author.
Thank you.
You are an author. He just released book that we're about to launch. I think the book will be officially launched July 12, 2025, right? July 2025. So welcome my good friend Doug to the studio.
Thank you.
Look, I've glanced through the book. Mister, I want to go right into it. I've glanced through the book. I learned so much about you that I didn't even know, even though we've known each other for over 20-something years. Mm-hmm. But I guess what I wanted to ask is, why this book? What motivated you to write this book?
Thank you very much for your question. The motivation behind this book was the life story, the life journey of the author. Even though it's more or less a fiction, but it has some microscopic elements of the author's biography. So I just wanted to let the world know that what next should be a question that every living human soul should be able to ask himself at the point in time in his life or her life. Because as we start life, as young kids, we have conspicuous ambitions. Everybody wants to be who he has not been. Then based on that, I have two audiences in this book.
Okay.
Which I will explain later. But if the host wants me to explain the two audiences...
No, I think we'll get there.
We get
later
there.
on.
Thank you very much.
Well, Dr. Jim Okeke, What Next is the title of this book.
Yes.
When I saw the title, what came to mind was rather amusing that I said I would throw at you today. When we were in University of Port Harcourt,
Yes.
Dr. Papan wrote a book, Crossroad to Nigerian Economy, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Professor Kojo brought so many books on crossroad of Nigerian, not Nigerian economy, but crossroad of the economy, and other books, and told us that when I heard like Papan has written a book, I said, no, something must be wrong. Wrong or right?
Right.
That he took so many books to ascertain from him if he was aware of the existence of this book before he wrote his book. And he said no. The summary of what he was trying to say was that those books were plagiarized without acknowledgement.
Right.
But this is a fiction. So there's no issue of plagiarism.
No.
But what I want to ask you, Dr. Okeke, Are you aware of any other title? Because there are so many titles. You can see What Next, maybe 50, 100. Did you read any book, What Next, before you wrote your book?
No.
Because I know of What Next by Matt Rosenberg, which is Notes of a Pissed Off Native Boy. He was writing about the challenges in Chicago and the perspective. And then Cherry Lowes, he wrote What If, What Now, and later wrote What Next.
Okay,
So are you aware of this? Did you go through any of the book before you come? Because your own looks original.
No.
And I didn't. I've read those books and I can't link it to.
No. So before you answer the question, I want you to answer it anyway. But I can tell you, after Ochiora passed,
Yes.
Smodo has been asking, what's next?
Beautiful.
What's next?
Yeah.
And I kept saying, Doc, are you telling us something? Do you want to join your late wife? This is how many years ago now?
11.
11 years. He's been asking this same question. So I was not shocked when I saw the title of the book, What Next? I said, so this man has been thinking about this. So go ahead.
Yeah, to answer your question, Chief Ezenwane, thank you very much. Like in every situation, your first question was, have I read any book called What Next? No, I have not. There might be out there.
Yes.
Which is like every other topic in the industry of writing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing is new.
Nothing is new. So, but every topic or title comes with particular experience. For instance, the one you just mentioned in Chicago, it was customized to the environment of Chicago.
Exactly.
And my own was customized around my life, around what happened, around everything that happened in life. Based on all that, plus the fact that God has blessed me in certain areas, in more or less in all my ambitions. My children are doing good. My life has come, I wouldn't say, from a poor background to where I am right now. Then that made me to say, and then after the demise of my late wife, who was very industrious,
well known in the community.
Well known in the community.
Yes.
The former president of Nigerian Women Organization and stuff like that. Ochiora.
Ochi baby.
A very respected woman. Her demise caused a lot of emotional trauma to me. Then based on that, it took me back to my origin. How my life started.
The genesis of your journey.
The genesis of my journey. Then I said, okay, I've got it all. And after I've got it all, that question came to my mind. I was sleeping one day. Like I told you, I never read anything about What Next.
Yes.
I think one of my friends pointed to me about a book called What Is Next. I explained the difference between What Next and What Is Next to him. But this What Next is nothing but to tell the world, after you have achieved everything that is in your mind, your goal, you have taken them into consideration and achieved them, then the ultimate question comes, what next?
Well,
and like I said, every what next question is customized to the circumstances surrounding the particular what next author.
Yes.
My own, when you read it, you will understand exactly why that question came up. But glory be to God.
Yeah, Sumodo.
Yes, sir.
I've read the book.
It
is the story of a man, a young boy, a little boy, a young boy,
Right.
a young man, and now who you are, that grew from obscurity to greatness. You know, you came from nowhere to where you are today. So it is a good story.
That's why.
And what we are talking about, the book, What Next? My professor at University of Lagos, Professor Brown Honor, used to tell us that no knowledge is original.
And I was going to ask that. I mean,
you know, he said that knowledge started and almost ended with Socrates, Plato, Aristotle.
Okay.
And that nothing is original, that we are all bibliographical authors. Unless things like this,
is it even possible to write something nobody has written before?
Yeah,
or at least based on the title.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is very.
You are not the first person that asked that question.
Yeah, accepted. But what I was trying to, the message I was trying to convey would be different.
Exactly.
Based on the background.
Yes.
From the stories other people are telling. For instance, when you look at the face of this my book, you will see mud houses.
Okay.
You see mud houses.
Yes.
Then you will see skyscrapers. The beginning of
the growth
of the author.
Yeah, the development.
And the spot the author found himself right now. Even though, like I said, it's not an absolute biography.
Yes.
It's a fiction, but it's telling a story that really happened. So I don't want anybody to hold me to ransom. He's telling what is not right and da da da. No.
No. That's not why we're here. We are not here.
But this is what it is.
Yeah.
This What Next, when you go into the one chapter of this book, you will see where the author wanted to eat breakfast before he went to school. He scooped the soup that his mother made, and a dead rat was what he scooped, thinking that it was fish or meat. He still removed that dead rat and ate his food without warming it to go to school.
Because if not,
he will be attacked by hunger, and you don't know what follows. And this is the man talking now.
Yeah, that's why I said from obscurity to greatness.
Yes. Is a thing that is very emotional, a lifespan that's very emotional. And if you go through in that book again, you will see where the author told his sister back in Africa, when he sent them some little money from America, 50 naira. The first money.
The first money you sent back home.
I told my sister very boldly and proudly, I have broken the bondage of poverty in our household.
When you sent them, you share that money?
Yes.
And you knew then?
I knew. What are you telling me? Boy, it was rough. It was rough. My father was a simple local musician.
Oh, that's where you got your music.
A wine tapper. And a very prominent man. He was popularly known as Otopolagodo.
Otopolagodo.
He's about 7 feet tall. He's ready to tear up the mouth of the lion because he was very strong. Yeah. So even though he was a poor man, but a musician. In fact, he was a man that buried Chief Odumegwu of Nnewi when he died with his music.
Your dad?
Yes.
He came
Sir Louis.
Okay.
When Sir Louis died, yes. My father's music group was invited to come and be the musician that would perform there. And he was there. And of course, they walked from Upo to Nnewi on foot.
It's not a long distance.
So this is the thing.
It's not a long distance.
It's not up to 10 miles.
It's not over 10 miles.
Yeah.
Not up to 5
If you look at the story behind this, young old man now here, you will say God is good.
God is good.
Yes.
Uh,
That's why.
When I read this book,
Yes.
Dr. Okeke, I saw aspect of the Biafran War.
Yeah.
And the age bracket there, people of your age bracket, from what I read in that book, what I can infer, we are involved in the land army.
You mean,
Where are
what,
you
they
part-
call, what do you mean land army? They call them
People
what?
that bring information to the and take supplies.
Small boys.
Small boys.
But are they called land army?
That's
That's the word there. I don't
there
think
was
that's
a
the
name
word.
there.
There
there
was
was
a
a
name for
name,
it.
yes.
Yes.
So
Okay.
they give information like the enemies, when they see them, they think they are small boys, but they relay information to the Nigerian troop that these
Okay.
people are here and not. We are you
Biafran
part?
troops.
Yes, we are you part of that?
Now, I was privileged not to be bamboozled into that because
Some of the boss are.
no, I was in the village doing my serving mass and all that, eating lizards, eating. Man, let me tell you something. There was a sickness called Pachioko
During Biafran War.
during Biafra War. Thank God, Jesus Christ, it never affected my family. Because we were eating anything that has protein. Lizard, rat, name it. We set a net up to catch a lizard
Okay.
that is crawling on the wall. So can you imagine that after all that, you're able to be a philanthropist? Then, let me answer his question. I wasn't part of it because my father was a prominent man in terms of, not financially, in the village circle. They knew him as a musician and a very strong man. So he was able to maneuver that none of his children went to war. Even those older than me. Then my humble self, I was so little that they couldn't conscript me into that boys something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were all there, and the war went on. It just affected our schooling program because as I stay here now, I don't recall passing elementary 6 examination because the war came and disrupted everything. So when the war was on, when the war ended, St. John's Seminary, Umukroshi, Port Harcourt, came to my village. I mean, during the war, they came to my village to establish a school. Then we, as small as we were, went to the entrance examination. Thank goodness I was selected. Then I began my journey towards priesthood, which I will tell you.
That's how you.
That was
you
how I
entered into
entered
seminary
the
school.
So from there, we ended up after the war at Sacred Heart Seminary at Awamama. From Awamama, we then moved to St. John's Seminary in Soka. It was called Sacred Heart Seminary, Umukrochi, Port Harcourt, before the war. So they came to war and they recruited us. Then after the war, we went to Awamama novitiate. From there, we went and joined Bishop Okoye at Enugu, Soka, St. John's Seminary. That was from where
What year is it?
oh my God, that was 70 something.
Just after the war.
Yeah, right after the war. But then I didn't do my Passing 6 exams because there was no such thing. Biafra, that's Nigeria. So we don't have Passing 6 exams.
If I may ask,
Yes.
your father, strong man, tall, did he go to the army?
No,
Why?
the will of God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the will of God. Because he wasn't really very young.
Oh, okay.
What I mean, very young,
Yeah.
like us now. He has started aging.
We are not young now.
I know. I think my father died at 70 something in 1987. Yeah, and by then he already had grown up boys.
Okay.
So they don't conscript their age mates.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to write this book?
Oh my God.
Because all these years we've been seeing and moving around, I didn't know you were writing.
Yeah.
So how long did it
like
take
I
you to
said,
write this book?
this book was inspirational. I was in sleep one day and was hit with the topic, and I woke up by around 3 o'clock in the morning and started scribbling something. That was the beginning. At the end of the day, it took me like 6-7 months to round up, because writing is not the thing, but trying to coordinate your pages, your chapters to link up to the next chapter,
chapters
and link up to the end to deliver your message.
Yes.
So it was really a process, and hopefully more will come. Yeah, so it took me like 6 months or 7 to be able to.
Please, if I can digress a little, your father is so tall. Foolish.
Why am I short?
You are not sure.
I know that's where he wants to go. He kept saying your father is so tall, your father is so tall.
So is it your mother?
Yeah, my mother was down there,
Yeah.
but very beautiful woman.
Really?
They call her Mboroma.
So why did you take the height and didn't take
Mboroma
the
is in the
beauty?
book.
Yes. So was Nkrumah in the book?
Yes,
Yes.
Your mom?
my mom.
Okay.
But I didn't link her as, well, I think I mentioned her as my mother.
Yes.
All right.
But that was her name, Mboroma. The thing they call her.
Yeah.
But her real name is Cecilia.
Okay.
Okay. They know her, like people answer Ofiogu,
Whatever, some of the others. So her name is
Mboroma. We have Miriam in
Now I'm Mboroma, the seed of beauty.
Yes, the seed of beauty. Yes.
Okay, yeah, the seed
Of
of
course,
beauty.
man. Yes.
So yeah, I took after her. Yeah,
Height wise, but not
height-wise.
beauty wise.
Yeah. Well, when you look at
Some of them are more okay.
when you look at the gene that she produced, look at my kids, man. All of them are pretty and stuff like that. And me, when you look at my pictures back in the days when I was in the university and stuff like that, oh my God.
So now I'm glad that you mentioned back in the days when you were in university. You went to University of Nsukka.
University of Nigeria, Enugu
Enugu campus.
Yes.
And you are popularly known as
Sensation. Yeah.
Sensation.
Yeah.
Sensation.
That even started when I was in the seminary.
Oh, you be the only seminary.
Yeah, that name I took that name when I was in the seminary. Sensation. And that sensation is what transformed into Somodo. Somodo is Ihene Hyodo.
Ihene Hudo. Okay,
Yes.
what's their meaning?
Ihene Hyodo, what is sensation?
Okay.
And my father, his other name is Anufolude.
And follow there.
Sensation too.
Ah.
Nobody can say he doesn't know him. That's Anufolude.
Okay.
That he's making
DNA there.
Thank you very much.
DNA.
So-
there.
so-
As a musician.
As a musician. So these things are
Correlated.
generic.
So now I understand your love for music. So
Yeah.
it's in your gene.
It is.
I didn't know your father was a musician.
So very prominent one.
Local musician.
Local
Yes,
musician.
because somebody will dance,
Yeah.
play, go to his house, you from morning till night.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that music is, I think, is getting to one of my little boys, JJ.
okay,
One-
the
little
youngest.
one. Oh yeah, and that thing is in the blood. I have one of my brother's sons, a real musician. He plays, innocent. Then JJ took over.
The first thing I want to ask you
Mhm.
is this. I've heard stories of people who climb from obscurity to greatness.
Mhm.
And they make it a mission in their life to make sure that anybody that is within them do not go through such deprivation in their life.
Mhm.
I know you in this society. What can you say about this aspect of your life down home?
Okay. Very good question. When I was in the seminary, there was a situation where we have 3 people in my village to be ordained priests at the same day, which includes my humble self, Father Hilary Moto, and Father Mike Ifagwas, to be ordained the same day. I want to tell you why I came out from the seminary before I answer your question.
Okay.
So one day, I sat down. The culture was that when you are being ordained priest, people from the village will gather in your father's compound and celebrate you. And these 2 other gentlemen were from very prominent families.
Wealthy family.
Wealthy
Family.
family. So I told myself, I don't want to be ashamed the day I will be a priest. Because people will not come. Because my father was a poor man. Then I told God. Some people were speculating that I was fired from the seminary. No, I left the seminary. I told God, Father, you see my situation. I want to leave. Just bless me when I leave, and I will serve you in a different way. That was the theology of my philanthropism. The way I'm serving him now, if you recall, before the COVID, all bazaars that Anglican Church does.
Not just bazaars, all the community events.
Yes.
I cannot name.
I had always been the chairman, donating, not because I have too much, but that promise I gave to God. And he happened to have blessed me to a level. Then I said, okay, God, this
So he kept that promise.
I kept that
Kept it.
So that was why. Then your question about how do I do that? How do I touch lives? Yes.
You answered it.
I answered it, and then I want to be specific. In the back down there in Africa, in Nigeria, there are people that have bought cars for. They sold the cars. There are people that have bought complete instrument they used to play music. They sold it and called it Ogwego. There are people that
Ogwego. The money you gave them is Ogwego.
No, the money I use in buying the instrument is referred to as Ogwego because one of them said that
kind of ritual.
Yes, one of them said that when he sets the instrument to play,
he doesn't really make
smoke comes out from the instrument. And recall that it was the same instrument that was used to play for when I buried my late wife in the village.
Yes.
There was no smoke. And
as soon as you finish burying your wife
yes,
and smoke
became smoke. Because they were not connecting the instrument properly, smoke was.
Yes.
Then they
But they blame it on all.
Then there were people that gave millions that turned around and didn't return them. So at the stage, you give up. People are living in my houses in Lagos free up to now. So this is how I've touched lives. And people want to start business. I say, okay, here it is. Do your best, because I was not given a dime by anybody in the world. So whatever you are in this world is the way He
Almighty
ordained it. I wouldn't say I trained myself in the university from nothing. Is in this book.
Yes, I read it, but yes, that's why I asked you your days in university. And you bought your first car.
I bought my first car, Beetle. The registration number BDBB 1967.
So
We were only 4 that had cars in the whole University of Nigeria Enugu campus. My humble self happened to be one of them. People were ascribing to me as the son of a millionaire. Which millionaire? It was just, and I was an ordained, come on, leave me alone. Ordained musician. I was doing MC, I was doing parties for people as a DJ. I was even acting in the ABC, Anambra State Television Authority, with one woman called Mrs. Okeke. We were acting there.
What year was this?
Early 80s. We're always in the TV. So it is, God will always map out a route for you when you have faith in Him. People might say, oh, somebody don't go to church anymore. Yes. Unfortunately, I lost my faith when I lost my wife. Because I remember, if you can't...
you guys were your wife, oh my God.
Yeah, if you come to my house in Shalama Drive, 305 Shalama Drive, the table right in front, you will see a Bible sitting there.
Yes.
I read that Bible to my family members every night. Those who are not in the house we call them on the phone and put them on the phone, and then read the Bible, and everybody will pray and sing, and we go to bed. So when she died conspicuously,
They started asking.
I said, what? That is God. So how can this happen? My wife was a deacon in the church. It's a long story. But did I answer your question?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
What I want to say is, you know, in life, you know, we don't know what God has in store for you.
Correct.
You don't give up. Whatever you are in this world, my father used to tell us that, I will say it in Igbo better, and then use a Biola version of self-interpretation. No basinashi.
Period.
Basinachi.
Yes. No matter how hard you work, it's just to feed yourself. But wealth, real wealth, comes from God. You know, you work hard, and then the real wealth comes from God.
Yeah.
It is a very good, it's not easy to write. When you write a 10 paper or even a love letter, you know how
Let me
difficult
tell you,
it is.
I'm in school now. I don't know, I didn't tell you, I'm taking some classes.
For PhD?
For, I don't know what it is, but the thing's already kicking my, this is my second week.
Mm.
And all this writing.
Yeah.
So it's not easy.
So to even
Sit down.
formulate and put it together, it's not easy.
Yeah,
But
so-
let me ask you one more question.
Do.
Have you been able to answer this question?
Which
that you
one?
asked?
What next?
What next?
It's a very difficult question because at the end of the book I said it's a divine question that has no answer.
No answer. Okay.
Is there? What next? What next, man? You've done it all. What next? You'll be confused. You will not say, okay, let me be going on holidays. After going on holidays,
Then what next?
You will not say, okay, let me be traveling, going to restaurants, eating, shopping, doing this, doing that. After you get that, what next?
But then maybe you shouldn't be asking that question in the first place.
You must ask it because otherwise, don't tell me. What do you think you will be doing after you have finalized everything you have in life? Okay, some people will say you get ready to go to God. Who is ready to die? Nobody. People will tell you point blank, I am not in a hurry to go.
Yes.
Okay, what next?
So, but that's why you live day at a time. You know, like you just live.
It's only God that will answer that question. Huh?
No, yes, I don't even
We
want to ask that.
can answer the question, what is next, because we have projects.
It's one day at a time. Well, yeah, because you have projects anyway.
After
yes.
project number 1, what is
Then
next?
what
Project number 2, what is next? Number 3.
I think
It's a
I
kind
see.
of hypothetical question.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
So it has no
It depends
answer
on your
precisely.
situation and scenario.
Exactly.
And you
know,
cannot
your
say,
perspective.
okay, after I have achieved all this, let me be such a philanthropist throughout. After being philanthropist throughout, what next? No answer. Period. It's only him that can say, this is next. Which might be the end of life. I put it that way.
And some people will argue after the end of life.
No, after the end of life, you have no thing again in your.
It's not within your control.
The life is ended.
For you here, you don't know if you are
Because
if it's heaven.
But some people
All
believe
the-
there's life after death.
No, forget that. All the
just telling you.
what is next
Yes.
is steps, projects you have to achieve it, achieve success. Then after you achieve that success,
Then
you sit back in your house and say, okay, right now I have an airplane, I have a private jet, I have this, I have millions of houses like Donald Trump. Excuse me, President. I have all this. Okay. Like Bill Gates the other day was saying that he has given billions of dollars out to people that he plans to give the rest to poor
Yeah,
people.
at the end of the day, they always give it away.
Okay, after even all this you have acquired, man, that's nothing you will answer me. So God is the only person who can answer that ultimate question. Because it came from him. What next?
Do you know the funny thing that you said is, I was driving to Raleigh last week. It was a week or 2 weeks ago. And somehow I ended up in this neighborhood. that neighborhood reminded me something. I used to deliver pizza all around that neighborhood. And to be honest with you, I used to admire those homes in that neighborhood. And I kept saying, God,
Give me that.
give me that. Give me, if I get that, I'm done.
Yes.
But some of the girl was. I was driving that neighborhood and I was looking at that homes. It looks so small.
I know.
Now, I kept saying to myself, this is the same house that I'm praying.
Yes, to have.
But now I have a house bigger
Than that.
than that. But and guess what? I still want more.
You still want one. And
Because
and
then you had nothing.
have you remember? Can you remember?
So it's almost like you just appreciate what you have.
Yes.
Because you continue to seek and
Yes.
want to have more.
If you can
And
remember,
They say human ones are insatiable.
if you can
Keep
remember
searching.
back in the days when we went to elementary schools, we were seeing our elementary school buildings as magnificent edifices.
And teachers as
Oba, I went home the other day. I saw St. Mary's Catholic Church, St. Mary's Primary School. It was like a cup of tea. Well, like a small box.
You're asking, is this the same?
This is the same school I went to. It was just like a burial ground.
No, but
small
that one
box.
is even understandable because it's back home. We can understand. I'm even talking about here.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Has no answer.
There's no answer to it.
It's a question that is pregnant with me.
Indefinite question.
It's pregnant with meaning.
With meaning.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a question that is pregnant with meaning.
So,
now, tell us a little bit about the launching.
The launching is precisely coming on the July 12th at Emmanuel Anglican Church, Raleigh. We start by 6 p.m. and end like about 12 midnight, and depending on
What do we expect?
we expect like people coming there. We'll have some people who will make speech based on the content of the book. Few people that are given it to read to be able to contribute to the community what they grasp from the writer, and then generally people would like to support the effort of the writer by picking up a book to be signed by the author. Then they will.
What about food and drink?
But there'll be food and drink. And people are, welcome to give gifts of appreciation, like donations and all that, no matter the amount. Because the book was really written and printed overseas and shipped back here. Even
It
though
costs you money too.
it cost me money too, but hey, you don't have to give if you don't have. But part of the book's revenue will go to philanthropism too. I'll give some to the charity and stuff like that.
Before we go,
We have to toast.
We have to remind our viewers that we are coming with
We are not going anywhere.
other issue with Anambra in our next podcast.
Anambra, okay.
Anambra election. Have a view of what's going there.
We have an NGO that contracted us to monitor the Anambra election. Okay?
So we do a lot of work there.
And we are
lay
we are,
groundwork for
we
that
are looking
election.
for what do you call them? Is it
monitoring group.
monitoring
And we'll give you real-time experience on Anambra election. You'll be here watching what happening even in the polling unit in your village.
Yes.
You see what we can bring to you. Live in
Smoothie will
America.
be
In your bedroom.
Smoothie will be a regular guest.
Yes.
I mean, he did wonderful.
And
As well.
let you
That's
know.
the beginning. Yeah.
But Smoothie, we're going to toast.
It is well. 191.
No,
I got Banyele Mmiri.
Sorry.
Just a little toast
not
because this is not easy.
I know.
I mean, I was reading your
Memoir.
memoir, I'm like, damn, Somodo,
Yeah.
you came a long way.
Yeah, God is
And you're
good.
still breaking
Eyes.
boundaries. So
Oh, sorry.
we're going to toast because I mean this is special. I mean, of course, on the 12th I'll be there live. You know that.
Yes, sir.
I'll come with my crews
Yes, sir.
to document the whole thing
Yes, sir.
because this is like a birth of a new voice in the world of book writing.
Yes, sir.
Right? You know, I know it's not easy.
It's not.
So we want to toast you. I know you will have more books.
Please, God.
You know, you always keep it secret. so don't stop,
Yeah,
don't
please,
surprise us this time around.
Please,
So,
Amen.
because you have taken your idea and put it into
Reality.
reality. So it's not easy.
It's not.
So we toast.
Ain't gonna-
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yes. On
Well,
Good luck.
thank
good
you.
luck with the book. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think you need any more luck anyway.
Well, like we said,
Because everything you touch turn into gold.